All right, what's going on, everybody? So in today's video, I'm going to be going over 7 different types of tiny houses that you can purchase today. And these could make great Airbnb, like rental income type of properties. They could be great if you just want to live there yourself, for that minimalist lifestyle, if you're into nature, things like that. These could be great options. And we're going to talk about the prices, features, everything like that. But they can be very affordable. They can also be pretty expensive as well. But for the most part, they're going to be pretty affordable. So let's jump into it. And this right here is the first type of tiny house you can buy. It's actually a shipping container house. So a lot of companies now are kind of like refurbishing old shipping containers and turning them into luxurious properties. I mean, this one has like a roof deck. So I guess that's just the inside of it. Okay, so you have, bathroom, it's small, obviously, 160 square feet. And there's lots of different companies that you can purchase these from online. And they typically come in 2 different sizes. So you have 20 feet by 8 feet, or the larger version, 40 feet by 8 feet. So if it's just you, the 20 foot by 8 foot, that's going to equal about 160 square feet. And then the 40 foot by 8 foot, that's going to be 320 square feet. And I actually know condos that are 320 square feet. So 320 square feet is actually, pretty doable. 160 square feet might be a little bit tough, but this thing looks incredible. I mean, look at these pictures. So this would probably be the larger one, and they have the cool spiral staircase. And as far as the price goes for these, they're going to be around $40,000. And because it's not a traditional property, like, you're not going to get a mortgage for it. So some ways of financing it, you can just pay all cash. You can use a personal line of credit. Some people even do like social lending. You can get, obviously a loan from a friend. You can also use a home equity line of credit. So if this is like obviously your second home, you can use the home equity line of credit on your current house to purchase this. And maybe maybe you have a piece of land, maybe you can put it in your backyard. You always have to check with the zoning regulations to see what's allowed, but there's a lot of different options. And then as far as, utilities, so some of these actually have solar panels and also water collection tanks. That stores the water, and you could potentially use it for showers and things like that. And then they also have more permanent types of shipping container houses where it actually taps into the public sewer and water and that type of thing. And I forgot to mention with the shipping container houses, so I said $40,000 as a price, but it's going to vary drastically. You can get one significantly less expensive and then obviously significantly more. It just depends on the amenities that you want in the property. So next up, we have tiny houses on wheels. And these are cool because you can just kind of drag them around. If you have a property or of a property where you can put one of these, it can be a great Airbnb. Again, another great Airbnb type of property. And they're also fairly luxurious. You can buy a lot of these online, and they come in so many different shapes and styles. And they're actually, most of them are going to be bigger than the shipping container houses. So because it's on wheels, it's going to be, I don't want to say more of like the RV, but it's going to be a little bit more upgraded than some of the shipping container houses. So let's take a look at a few pictures. See, this is like amazing. I mean, that's like a real kitchen, everything. I mean, it's almost like a little RV, but it's basically a house. So this has the whole rustic look going. And this one's pretty cool. You can see it has the solar panels and windows. And as far as price goes with these ones, you're going to start around $10,000. This one is probably significantly more than $10,000, but you can get a really small one. Maybe needs a little bit of work for, around $10,000. And these are going to go up into the price range of like $40,000 or $50,000 for something like this, for something that's a little bit nicer. Next up, we have accessory dwelling units, which can be great in an urban area because a lot of cities now are allowing accessory dwelling units just because housing is so unaffordable. So this can be a great, I've actually seen this quite a bit in the city that I live, and you can make some really good income off of these. So these are 7 ADUs, accessory dwelling units, that you can buy for less than $100,000. And the thing to know about ADUs, you can really spend, $100,000, $200,000, even $300,000. These ones start at $26,000. So there's, the cheap option. But if you don't need to go crazy and you just need a small space, it can be great. Because I see some people that will build like additions onto garages and turn that into an accessory dwelling unit and then run the plumbing and make it like a luxurious, studio or 1-bedroom apartment. And obviously that can get pretty expensive. But these are more like, I don't want to say a shed, but, studio luxe. That's a much better term for it. So this one is serving Austin and Dallas. Let's take a look at, so these are just really nice, small spaces. I mean, it almost might be a good like work from home space, a nice little office. And this is the showcase model. This thing looks like it's out of the future. That thing is probably pretty expensive. But you get the idea. Accessory dwelling units, they're pretty common in the city, and if you live in a city, you should actually try to look at creating an accessory dwelling unit. And you can oftentimes like purchase properties that already have them built, so that can save you some money, and then you can find out how much they were making in rent or in Airbnb. And always check the rules and regulations. You don't want to just like buy one of these and just put it in your backyard and call it an accessory dwelling unit. Check the zoning regulations, because the laws recently they've been changing quite significantly, for the better, in the benefit of the homeowner. So definitely check your laws and look into it. I mean, it could be worth it. The next type of tiny house is the yurt. So this is almost like a tent, but just a nicer version and much more affordable. So like this article says, modern nomads, it'd be good for the person that's just kind of doing their own thing and wants some peace and quiet. So here we have these yurt cabins. And the interesting thing to know about a yurt is that, these walls are pretty durable, engineered, durable walls. This style was actually used by nomads in Mongolia. When they're on the tundra and there's all this wind blowing, it can be a pretty safe place to get away from like the wind and the weather. And these can usually be assembled and disassembled within a few hours. So it's like I said, it's a step or two above a tent. And these have windows, doors, and they've also been around since the 70s. So you might go to some campgrounds and actually see these types of properties, I guess you could call it that. See, I mean, that looks really nice. I mean, spend, a week or two there. But obviously, these are not going to typically have, like, utilities hooked up like some of the tiny houses would. So it's more temporary, but they're also more affordable. So these you can really buy, around 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. They can go up in price, but you can probably get a good deal on one of these. Next up, we have camper vans, motorhomes, RVs, and also something called schoolies. I don't know if you've heard of a schoolie, but it's basically a converted school bus. So I'll show you a photo of those, but for the most part, we're going to be talking about motorhomes, RVs, camper vans. And these also range drastically in price. You can pay like as little as $10,000, and then you can really pay, up to like $500,000 for these. You can get some really luxurious types of RVs and motorhomes. So I'll just show you a few here. We have the Dalbury E-Electric, so it's almost like a little tent right there, $45,000. And here's a look at the inside. So you have a little stove, sink, everything. I guess you can stand up. The E-Traveler trailer, $10,000. So that's pretty affordable. You could take this around somewhere, go camping, wherever you go. And that's pretty cool. So, I mean, it has tons of windows, if you find a scenic place. Then we have this van, which kind of just looks like a normal van. Okay, but you have some sleeping quarters. And you get the idea. These are more of the smaller versions. And then once you get into the RVs, you can really go crazy with them, and you can spend so much. I'll show you what a schoolie is real quick, just so you have that down. So here are some schoolies for sale. Go to tinyhouselistings.com. And I think over the next few years, it's probably going to blow up because I think a lot of people are looking for these now. But as you can see, it's going to range, in price, $30,000, $90,000. Looks like it was featured on some type of... Let's just click on this real quick. So this is an actual school bus. Interesting. Well, it definitely does not look like a school bus. So they have a loft up here. Looks like they have nice like hardwood floors. Washer, dryer. Not bad. Another thing to know about these RVs and camper vans is that when you're not using them, you can actually rent them out, similar to an Airbnb type of site. So outdoorsy.com is one site. There's a few sites like this where you can just list your rental. And, if you're looking for something like a camper van, trailer, Class C, Class A, you can get it rented out and make some money every single month. So it's becoming much more popular. So definitely check it out. And the last place that you can actually find tiny houses is the MLS. So what you can do is you can set up a search, or you can have a real estate agent set up a search, or you just do it by square footage, because tiny houses are going to turn a certain percentage of buyers off. So there might be less competition on the MLS for some of these properties. So I'll just show you what's available. Let's say 200 square feet, just so it doesn't, if I put in 0, it might pull up a lot of weird stuff. And let's go to 500 square feet. It might pull up some condos. Maybe let's just do fee simple and see what happens. So when I do fee simple, there's actually some properties. And these are all houses under 500 square feet. So these could be great, like little rental properties. Like that's actually a barn that's actually very scenic. Wow. Just lots of trees. And there's other properties on here. Some of these are going to be condos. So this is like a studio condo for 463 square feet. This one's actually a house. 500 square foot house. It's like right on a pond. Again, another scenic type of property. So you get the idea. You can kind of search through these and you can find some really, a lot of times these like need some fixing up. So you could renovate a small house, fix it up, and maybe sell it at a premium. Sell it to an investor who's looking for just a move-in ready type of Airbnb property, or just a small getaway property that they can go to on the weekends. So thanks for watching this video, and let me know in the comment section below which type of tiny house you would prefer and why, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye.